It is graduation season. So, first and foremost, congratulations. Job well done. I am so thrilled to see all of the graduation posts, all of the videos from commencement. It warms my heart. And it's one of my favorite times of year to see people be celebrated, to see students who have endured the journey, who have earned their degree. And for me, it doesn't really matter what stage that person is when they earn that degree. So I'm talking bachelor's, master's, doctorate. Congratulations. Job well done. And I get super excited to see your videos. But I want to take some time to speak directly to my doctoral graduates because that journey is a little bit different. It's long, it's lonesome, it's tiring. By the time you get to commencement, you are exhausted. You have been burning the candle from both ends. And so it is more than just an end of the term, end of a chapter. It is a lot. It is emotional. It is physical. It's financial. It is all the things. And so I want to take a few moments to speak directly to my doctoral graduates. So again, congratulations. But I have a few pieces of advice for after the journey. So now that the degree has been earned, you have walked across the stage, you've done all the things, you've defended, you've walked across the stage, you've done all the things, you've met every requirement, you have graduated. I have a piece of advice or a few pieces of advice for you as it relates to what's next or what my recommendations are or what I recommend to my students. So first and foremost, what's next? Celebrate. That is the next step. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate without shame. Do not be afraid to celebrate. As I said, this is a lonely, tiresome journey. The road to getting your doctorate is not easy. It is not without sleepless nights, early mornings, frustration, all the things, rewriting this, that. It is all the things. So you deserve to celebrate. You have earned the right to celebrate. So celebrate without remorse. Celebrate yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of you and don't be ashamed for being proud of you. Be relish in the moment, right? This is a once in a lifetime moment. Relish in that moment and don't be ashamed for relishing in it. So that's number one. Celebrate. Do whatever it is that you need to celebrate you, whatever that looks like for you. From graduation parties, the festivities, maybe a graduation vacation, whatever that means for you. All I'm saying is celebrate yourself because you deserve it. And this is a once in a lifetime moment. Relish in it and do not let this moment pass you by. The second piece of advice is to rest. I know that sounds easy, but I personally found that as one of the most difficult things after my journey was to rest. So you've spent the last few years going 100 miles an hour nonstop. You've juggled work, you've had to balance home life, you've had to do group projects, papers, your dissertation, class, all the things, right? Well, guess what? Now you need to rest. And you need to rest without guilt. You need to rest unapologetically. Rest, whatever that looks like for you. Don't be afraid to say no, decline doing things. Do not immediately replace your doctoral journey with other pressures, with other obligations, with other commitments. Rest and do it without being guilty, do it without shame. Carve out time, make it a priority to rest. My third piece of advice is to reset. So this ties in with that rest piece, right? You've been on this journey, you've been on this road for a very long time. Now it is time to reset. And reset looks different for everybody. For me, reset looked like getting my house back in order, purging some things, cleaning some things. Things had gotten out of control while I was getting my doctorate because it was just certain tasks I didn't have time to do. I didn't have time to deep clean and, make a Goodwill bag of clothes I wasn't wearing and all of the things that I would normally do. I just didn't have time for those things. So I had to reset. And that is something that I highly recommend is resetting. So resetting what your schedule looks like, resetting what your obligations look like, resetting your priority list, determining what is now a priority. So you don't have school anymore. You don't have that 11:59 deadline to get something uploaded into Canvas anymore, right? You now have freedom, and a freedom that you've earned. So reset, figure out what this new era, what this new chapter looks like for you. So reset. And then finally, my fourth piece of advice, find you a community. I don't know what that community will be for you. That community will be different based off of your profession, your area of expertise, your discipline of study, whatever that community is, but find you a community. A lot of us remain in community with those that we were on the journey with our fellow cohorts. We stay really close to those individuals, or we stay really close to a few of those individuals. Whoever it is, find you a community of like-minded scholars. Because the work doesn't stop when you walk across the stage and you earn the degree. That's when it really, truly begins. Now is your time to do scholarship or to engage in scholarship, to write, to research, to disseminate your work, to make your area, your profession, your discipline stronger, better. It's not the time to just sit, right? So find a community of like-minded scholars. Find a community of individuals who will write with you, a community of individuals who you can have a think tank with, a community of individuals who will keep you on your toes, who will push you, a community of individuals who will not let your last body of work, your last writing, your last whatever be your dissertation. Find a group of people, a community of individuals, a community of scholars who want to participate, who are going to conferences, who are saying, hey, let's do some research on this. Let's write about this. Find you a community. I promise. After the journey, you need a community more than ever. You need that community in a different way than you needed it when you were on your journey, on your road to getting your doctorate. Because I can talk about the community that you need for that in a whole different video. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But if you are at the end, you have graduated, you have earned that degree, that fourth piece is to find you a community of like-minded scholars. I promise you, you will not regret. So in closing, congratulations. I am super proud of all graduates. And now that you are in the next chapter, I encourage you to embrace celebrating yourself unapologetically, resting without regret, resetting, figuring out what's next. What does this new era, what does this new chapter look like for you? And fourth, finding you a community of like-minded scholars. If you enjoy this type of content, if you enjoy learning more about doctoral education, life after your doctorate, professionalism, being a professional, if this content resonates with you, then click like, subscribe to Holly Blue, and come back for more.